Hi guys, Stanis here. So today we're doing recap of the Gods of Boom Cologne, which was a fantastic event. We're going to get into all of the details, but before that, let me introduce you to Maya.
Hi, nice to meet you. My name is Maya, actually, Maya Stanis.
It's actually my sister, but also the ex Guns of Boom Esports content manager, but she's going to be joining us as a community manager, and we're going to be doing some videos going forward. So if you want to do some family jokes, this is your time.
I'm actually really excited to talk about Gods of Boom ESL 1 Cologne, because I honestly think it was one of our absolutely best live events. The emotions were high, the stakes were high, the battles were so close, like basically by the middle.
Yes, Cologne was incredible. The stadium was gigantic on the second day, but even on the first day, I think like there were some really interesting stories. But we want to focus on two of them. The two stories were, of course, Impact Gaming, powering their way through everything and everyone, and Lazarus with the greatest comeback story ever. But to all its time, no spoilers, let's watch the recap. And the first match, of course, were back-to-back versus Lazarus. It's a historical match. We've seen it so many times before, but I don't know if it ever felt so tense. Back-to-back managed to knock Lazarus down to the loser's bracket with a 3-1, and it felt like it was a complete one-way stomp.
Actually, people were already hyping up the back-to-back versus the Impact Gaming battle. So, at the moment when Lazarus went to the lower bracket, they basically gave up on the guys. And they were wrong.
Lazarus actually managed to win the first map on King of the Hill, and it was a very close battle.
But then back-to-back took every single map afterwards. It seems like Lazarus couldn't do anything, whether it was TDM or control points. Back-to-back was just completely dominant.
The best part, of course, was Lazarus's video, the team video, where Excellency actually saying that
as a team, we are very aggressive. We're not really a passive team. Our team strengths will be our chemistry and aggressiveness in the game.
And not to say anything bad about Excellency, but when you have the sweetest, the softest intonation and voice, even sweeter and softer than he usually speaks, and all he talks about how aggressive they are, how they're going to dominate everyone, this is just so funny to me.
Actually, I think he met his match. Have you seen the Kiam's video?
Nope.
Now, that is truly one of the most, I think, horrifying for the opponent's person to meet on the map, but it's a very soft and a young, intelligent man with glasses just going aggressive game.
The Guns of Boom athletes, they are gentle souls, but they are incredibly savage on the battlefield. But let's go on to the second match. So the next battle, of course, was Jug Knights of Honor versus Impact Gaming. It's a match we've never seen before, as Jug is a European team and Impact Gaming is from North America. And Jug actually has not been participating in the offline events for a long time. All the way back at EU Invitational, we've seen them, but after that, they were just nowhere to be found.
And for Impact Gaming, live events are basically their home turf at this point. They did just win 2 Pro Series championships in a row. So how would they do against such team? That would be quite nerve-wracking.
Okay, so Impact Gaming versus Knights of Honor was very difficult for Knights of Honor, as they have been so nervous. You could see it on their faces, and you could see it as they have been looking up at the sky instead of changing their weapons. They haven't been playing like themselves, as they are known as an incredibly strong team, corrupt with multi-eliminations, and the whole Impact Gaming team, they were just bringing them down.
And even on the TDM maps, which are usually the Jug's forte, none of their strategies seemed to work against Impact Gaming, and that really looked like a beginning of a winning streak.
And the next match is really exciting, as many people have been looking forward to it. Impact Gaming versus back-to-back, they went Impact Gaming, they felt like they wanted to just completely steamroll back-to-back as well as all the other teams in their career, but then back-to-back actually managed to stop them on their roll. They actually proved to be quite the opponents for Impact Gaming.
Yeah, you don't just steamroll over back-to-back. They are the winners of the Gods of Boom kickoff, after all.
The first map was TDM. Impact Gaming and back-to-back went neck and neck for so long until finally Impact Gaming managed to find that lead, and even though they won that match, still back-to-back show that European teams can really pose a serious threat to them in this tournament. But after that map, when it was 1-1, it was very, very close because Back2Back and Impact Gaming each took one map, and then Impact Gaming managed to win on a TDM map again, as they showed that TDM kind of went their way this time. That was, of course, amazing, as this cemented Impact Gaming as one of the finalists, going to the big stage the next day, the Lanxess Arena, to be at least second place in Gods of Boom Cologne.
But who is going to be their opponent? Who is going to be standing across them on that giant, awesome stage? Let's find out.
So now it's Lazarus versus Jug Knights of Honor, and what a battle it was.
And was it an absolutely unexpected one? I think everyone kinda thought that after the 3-0 with the Impact Gaming, Jug would just lay down and roll over, but they were wrong. It was one of the... No, it was absolutely the longest, the most nerve-wracking round that we had throughout all of the tournament.
As I can say, as I was casting it, it was one of the longest, one of the most tiresome matches in Guns of Boom Esports history, but it was still incredibly exciting. Nobody could breathe out, as we've seen, with the games going so close and each team taking a map right after another, never letting go, never letting the other team go forward. They were just like tooth and nail, they never let go.
Actually, I think I never saw Loremano this happy as when they took it from Jug. And they won the first season. I mean, like, that was a moment of true happiness.
Yes, of course, the celebrations on Massive's part were like a meme in itself. He slapped down a whole chair during this tournament. It was incredible, and I loved it. The Skyscrapers map, which was the decider, was incredible because Lazarus were so much behind it. They had almost no health left, and as we've watched them try to go through the center, going to the respawn of Jug Knights of Honor, we never expected them to win, but with some amazing luck and some incredible skill, they managed to take it, and you couldn't see them happier at any moment in their lives. But next, it was time for another match from Back2Back and Lazarus, which is perfect. It's just perfect. It's another double elimination, bracket reset, comeback story. Well, not exactly, because they were in the losers bracket, all of them, but still incredible to see two matches back-to-back versus Lazarus in one day.
And didn't this one go completely different? They went 1-1, neck-to-neck, through all of the matches. On the TDMs, the shooting skills were quite close, and on the control points, the teamwork was quite comparable.
But it all came down to Europe Square again. For those of you who don't know, on Europe Square, actually in the EU Invitational, it was Lazarus who won the finals on the Europe Square. It was the last map of EU Invitational, and it was the last map of Season 1 final, where actually Lazarus also won that map. And now, again, they are playing Europe Square, and of course this does not bode well for Back2Back, as of course Lazarus won it again. Only on kickoff, I think, like Back2Back actually managed to take Europe Square from them. And now with both winners decided, Impact Gaming versus Lazarus on the main stage of Lanxess Arena next day, we were all so excited and couldn't contain ourselves.
Actually, that's the same matchup that we had just 1 month ago at Pro Series Brazil, Lazarus versus Impact Gaming.
The fire show was incredible. The introduction of the teams was something to remember forever. As they stepped on the main stage of Lanxess Arena, both teams looked serious enough to kill with only a stare.
So the Impact Gaming had 1 point up because they are the winners of the upper bracket from the first day.
They also got 2 bans in the map big stage, so they had quite an advantage here.
The first map was Paradise Island, won by a massive landslide from Lazarus.
That was actually a great start for Lazarus, as they showed that they could beat Impact Gaming and they could beat them by a lot. It was very important for their confidence, as you are standing or sitting down here on the giant stage, you are so nervous and you need every bit of confidence you can get.
But Impact Gaming turned it around on a Europe Square in an incredibly close battle.
Control points are Impact Gaming's specialty, and they didn't disappoint their fans this time too.
Next, on the other King of the Hill map, Lazarus completely destroyed Impact Gaming once again, bringing the score back up to even.
With a score of 2-2, Impact Gaming and Lazarus went into a TDM map. which was incredibly close and was incredibly tense. But in the end, Impact Gaming made the plays that let them take that map away from Lazarus and start a comeback to dominate them completely.
With a score of 501 versus 391, Impact Gaming found the groove and dominated Lazarus.
On Skyscrapers, Lazarus again managed to take it back as their shooting skills allowed them to take the victory. But when they went to Control Points map, which is like the specialty of Impact Gaming, it is the one where Venom's supposed to be illegal to play, Impact Gaming actually took it back again, moving up to the last map of the finals. It was incredibly tense, it was incredibly close, all of those plays were made in insane situations. Finally, it all came down to Old Factory, where the fate of Gods of Boom Cologne and the championship was to be decided. Until finally, by winning a couple of group fights, Impact Gaming managed to take the lead and carry it all the way to the end of the map, which made them the winners, the champions of Gods of Boom Cologne, giving them their third offline event in a row. They cemented themselves as one of the strongest, if not exactly the strongest teams in Guns of Boom Esports.
I mean, coming in to this championship, everyone asked themselves, can Impact Gaming do it again? And they did. They did, they could, and they did. For me, it was an incredibly exciting tournament. It was a pleasure to watch. It was a pleasure to cover, actually. I can't imagine really how did it feel for you to be there, to be at the arena, to hear all of the cheering, to hear the fans. We heard there was a lot of fans right there.
Yes, it was interesting that the fans actually went for Lazarus in the stadium a lot more when we asked them to make some noise for the team. They wanted to win. Lazarus got a lot more cheers than Impact Gaming, but that didn't matter in the end, as Impact Gaming managed to take it back for North America. As being the only North American team there, they still managed to win the whole tournament, and it was an incredible sight to behold. We, of course, are waiting for them to make some more victories, to make some more incredible plays as we are going forward with Season 2, and it's going to be spectacular.
Impact Gaming, of course, are taking the 50k, a sizable part of the $500,000 of the Season 2 prize pool. But Lazarus are not going home empty-handed. They're taking away those 20k, which should be, a little remedy for the hurt pride.
So thank you for tuning in today.
See you next time on Guns of Boom Esports.
Stanis out.